Okay, welcome back everybody to another Saturday door knocking session with your boy Brandon. Yes, today is Saturday. We're back at the door knocks. Here, let me move my maps out of the way so it's not on my face. So yeah, we're doing it. The listing is looking good. We're hopefully gonna have this thing on the market by Friday. So obviously I'll be doing a walkthrough for you guys. I do have some walkthrough videos of when we first purchased the property. So I'll kind of do a part 1, part 2 type of thing. So that way you guys can kind of see it before and after. Sorry, some of those weren't like the best videos, right? I was really just trying to like assess the situation, figure out what needed to be repairs. I'm like zooming into outlets and stuff, but hopefully the final product will be a little bit nicer. We will have like an actual videographer doing a real video, and I'll post that here too. But yeah, and of course, as you guys know, my side hustle is 3D virtual tours, so you best believe I'm going to do a virtual tour of the property as well. More marketing is never a bad thing, in my opinion. And I'm actually going to be doing one of those today. I got a virtual tour lined up, so I'm going to door knock my way all the way over to the virtual tour that I have at 3 o'clock and get that out of the way, make some money on top of door knocking. So that's always good. And then I think I'm going to spend most of Sunday probably at the property. We're probably going to be doing some trash out stuff. We've obviously done that once, but one thing surprisingly that you may not know is when you are fixing up a property, you generate a lot of cardboard, a lot of waste, a lot of extra tiles, broken tiles, plastic, just all kinds of random stuff. I mean, food and drinks from people working there, right? You got to have lunch, so we got, just random stuff there. So we're going to be doing some junk out stuff. This was not in the budget. Luckily it's cheap, but we are probably going to end up painting the entire inside of the property. We were hoping to not have to do that, but we've kind of done everything else at this point. So, right, why not do one more thing, right? So, and obviously painting is affordable. It's, paint is cheap. We're probably going to use maybe 10 to 15 gallons of paint, right? Just the interior. And that will be, I don't know, what would that be? Maybe, I think 15 gallons of paint could easily be $700 maybe. So it's really just the labor that you're paying for. Almost missed my exit. So it'll be affordable. And I was actually talking to my partner. I have a paint sprayer. I've obviously sprayed my own apartments. Not saying I'm a professional. And I'd obviously be 10 times more patient and careful with this flip, right? You don't want any runs. You don't want any, you might want to actually have somebody come in behind you and back roll what you spray. So I've seen people talk about that on YouTube. So obviously not a painting expert, but if we really wanted to do it for cheap, but we do have a general contractor that's been helping us knock a lot of stuff out of the park. So we're going to ask him and see if he wants to do that as well. Most people don't turn down more money, but we'll see what he says. And again, we are also trying to do this fairly quickly, right? It's because today's Saturday, so we got this weekend, Saturday, Sunday, and then maybe Monday, Tuesday, right? Because then at that point we need to take pictures and get everything rocking and rolling, so to be listed by Thursday and Friday. So that's the update. But door knocking, you guys know we gotta hit up those distressed looking properties. We got to people who have reached out through a website, or we do buy leads too. So people who fill out forms online, we buy leads. We get our own. We door knock foreclosures. We reach out to probate. There really is no bad list. You just got to find people with some type of motivation, and that's usually death, divorce, and taxes. So just do those things. And here I am on my weekend. you know, other than working, right? Because I assume that most of you, if you're watching this video, I assume you don't work 7 days a week like I do. And if you don't work 7 days a week, pick one of those days, spend 2 or 3 hours finding properties close to your house that you can bike to or drive to, that's not, you know, a full day's worth of work, if you want to just kind of ease your way into it. But obviously the more doors you knock, the more phone calls you make, the higher likelihood of you finding a deal. And you know, here's the thing, a lot of people are willing to sell for a very high price. Those aren't deals, right? I see a lot of wholesalers do that, where, hey, I got somebody who's off market who's willing to sell their house. Not a deal, right? It's got to be at a very, you know, affordable price for investors, right? That's how you get a wholesale fee, is somebody has to buy it from you for more than what you have it under contract for. And they'll only do that if they can make more money than they're paying you after they're done with repairs, holding costs, and selling costs, right? So actually sorry to, you know, kind of keep running on with all these random things. If you hate my rambles, feel free to say so in the comments. You know, if you guys want videos that are, and I try to make like specific topics, but sometimes I flow a little bit. You know, one thing leads to another. If you guys hate those type of videos, I'm sorry. I'll try to make less of them. If you love them, I'll try to make more. Just let me know. But anyways, speaking of people who think they have a deal, I had a realtor reach out to me on Facebook, because I use Facebook as a marketing tool. I let people know that I'm doing flips. I let them know that I do door knocking. I let them know that I'm looking for deals, and people reach out to me occasionally. This was a realtor who said, hey, are you looking for another flip? Because I'm actively doing one and telling people that I'm doing it, right? And I said, always. And then, you know, she told me she was a realtor, and as soon as she told me that, I said, okay, there is a 99% chance this is not going to be a deal. And she said she has a place in Beaverton, which is, you know, out of the way for me, but like for a good enough deal, I'd go do it. She said she wanted $420,000. And I said, okay, that does not sound like a price point an investor would buy at. It, you know, depends, right? Because if it's worth $1 million, for sure, right? And then on the next question I asked her, I said, okay, $420,000. That could be possible. Depends on the condition, depends on the location, depends on the after repair value. And I said, what do you think it would sell for, all fixed up? Just nice, the nicest countertops, the nicest cabinets, soft close, fresh paint, brand new everything, stainless steel appliance, you know, whatever, right? Like if we did everything. She said that it would sell for maybe $480. And I said, okay, so there is you want $420 and you think it'll sell for $480. How much work does it need? And she said, oh, very minimal. And I said, okay, so let's do this. Let's say it only needs $20,000 worth of work, which is probably not the case, right? Like that's being extremely lowballing, right? Like materials and labor, $20,000. I mean, some people spend $20,000 on a kitchen, right? So we're talking about like a whole home, getting it ready to list. So I give you $420, and this was me trying to be nice, right? Like I wasn't trying to be a jerk. This is me trying to be nice. I was trying to educate her because she is a realtor, not an investor. I said, okay, let's say I buy it from you at $420. I put 20 into it, so now I'm all in for $440. Then I have holding costs, right? Like I have a loan to pay, right? Hard money. I have interest to pay. I have realtors to pay. And closing costs, title, escrow fees, whatever, right? So that could be another 20. Probably more, honestly, because you got to pay realtors. Your realtor 3%, the other realtor 3%. And yes, I know that whole thing with NAR has changed things on what you can ask for, but blah, 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 whatever, right? Let's just assume that it's the standard, right? So you got to pay 6% plus closing costs and everything, which is really probably closer to 8 or maybe even 10% of your list price. So 10% of $480,000 is $48,000. So right there, just with the most basic of math and doing absolutely almost nothing to the property, because $20,000 does not go as far as you think it will, even if you're doing the work yourself, trust me. I mean, I've remodeled an apartment, not a house, an apartment, and it costed me $10,000. And this is with me doing a lot of work. I mean, the stainless steel appliances alone were like, I think $5,000 or $6,000, right? And this included a washer dryer, because it was for a rental. So anyway, so that's 1/4 your budget right there, just in appliances. That's before you even get any wood or nails or anything, right? Anyways, so to make a long story endless, I explained to her, I said, okay, let's say, our holding costs and everything is 10%, which I think is reasonable. It could be a little bit lower, but let's err on the side of caution because we're investing my money. So it costs $48,000 plus the $20,000 it cost to renovate the property. That is $68,000. And if I pay you $420,000 plus the $68,000 in renovations, again, very low, and holding costs, that would put me at a all-in price of $688,000. And you think the best I could sell this thing for is $680,000. So how do I make any money? She didn't respond for a while, right? And I was generally coming from a place like, and I did say, like, not to be rude, right? Like, I'm not trying to like beat her up online and be a jerk, right? Like, this was a private message. I wasn't like throwing her under the bus in front of all of Facebook land, right? I just asked her, and she said, well, maybe this might make sense for somebody who's going to keep it as a rental. And I said, you know what? It probably would make more sense for somebody who's going to keep it as a rental, because they're willing to pay a higher price. She had somebody in mind, and I said, reach out to them, see what they think. But I told her, I said, you're a realtor. I can't even remember her name. But I said, you're a realtor. The best way to get the most amount of money for a property is to list it. And I told her that. And I said, why would you come to an investor unless you're looking for like a low ball cash offer? Because that's, and low ball is, in the eye of the beholder, right? I don't think we're lowballing people, but yes, we need to make money. We're taking a risk. We're doing it fast and easy so you don't have to deal with it. So anyways, that's, a couple different stories, just some updates about what's going on, and a little bit about me teaching you guys what a wholesale could look like and what it could not look like. So anyways, if you have any questions or think I suck, feel free to say that in the comments down below, and I hope you have an awesome rest of your day. I'm going to knock this door.